Guys, so today's video I am very excited about, and it's going to kind of lead into one of the 2021 reviews we are going to be doing, which is a 2021 review of music. We're only going to be doing independent artists, non-industry artists of different genres. So please put in the comments your favorite artist and your favorite song so I can check them out, and they may make it into my best of 2021 video. Today we're going to be talking about whether or not music influences your behavior. I used to think music was like video games. You know, violent video games don't necessarily make you more violent, and we do have lots of studies on that at this point. So we know that you can play a violent video game without being violent, and I always thought that music was the same thing. The type of music you listen to didn't actually affect you more than the way the music affected your body. But I was wrong, and I brought the receipts. So how does music affect your brain? So after sound goes into your ear and it hits your eardrum and it makes vibrations and they go up into your brain, they disperse to activate auditory cortices and many other parts of the brain. It is noteworthy that different parts of the brain are activated depending on the type of music. For example, melodic versus dissonant, or whether we are listening, playing, learning, or composing music. Music can alter brain structure and function, both after immediate and repeated exposure. According to Weisberg, for example, musical training over time has been shown to increase the connectivity of certain brain regions. If you play an instrument like the violin, he said, the areas in your brain that are associated with the frequencies of the violin are more stimulated and the synaptic connections are richer. So listening to music actually alters your brain. It actually alters the synapses, which are the connectors between your neurotransmitters. It actually alters them. One of the first things that happen when music enters our brains is the triggering of pleasure centers that release dopamine, a neurotransmitter that makes you feel happy. This response is so quick, the brain can even anticipate the most pleasurable peaks in familiar music and prime itself with an early dopamine rush. So music can make you addicted. Dopamine is the same way you are addicted to many drugs or serotonin, or many drugs mostly affect your neurotransmitters, which is why they affect you, why drugs make you feel the way they feel. Music can do the same thing as drugs as far as rewiring your brain for dopamine hits. Beyond simply making you feel good, however, there is evidence that music can even be good for your health. Research has shown that listening to music is associated with upticks in immunity-boosting antibodies and cells that protect against bacteria and other invaders. Music has also been proven effective across a variety of treatment scenarios, from conditions ranging from premature birth to depression to Parkinson's disease. So music does actually affect your health. It affects your body. It affects the way your body functions. Listening to music can increase your antibody response, can make you more resilient. I mean, all of this sounds wonderful, right? In other cases, the style of music can play a role. When it comes to the best music for learning, for example, experts recommend different genres for different purposes. Upbeat music, including songs with positive lyrics, can provide an energy boost and get your brain primed for learning. Once it's time to buckle down and concentrate, however, like when you need to read, write, or study your course materials, instrumental music and soothing genres can help you stay calm and focused. Ultimately, however, each person may develop an approach to studying music that's uniquely suited for them. So it talks about how different music can affect you differently. And it even says that upbeat music, including songs with positive lyrics, can give you an energy boost and get your brain primed for learning. But it makes the distinction of positive lyrics. So if it makes the distinction of positive lyrics and music does affect you, how do negative lyrics affect you? So it goes on to say these are the different types of music they tested, and they tested how it affects you differently. However, they did not include any lyrics in the music that they were playing. It was just music. It was hip hop music, jazz music, rock music, classical music. It was not anything with lyrics. So I tried to figure out if there were any studies done on, there has been plenty of studies done on positive lyrics and their effect, but I couldn't find any studies on negative lyrics and their effect, except for a study that showed that people are more likely to interpret situations as violent after listening to violent music. For example, if they listen to violent music, and it doesn't matter which genre, the musical background, if they listen to songs with violent lyrics, afterwards they were more likely to be aggressive and more likely to interpret things in an aggressive manner. So I decided to roll back a little of the politics involved, because obviously people in the music industry don't want to do studies on whether their negative lyrics actually negatively impact people. So instead of making it about music, since I wasn't really worried about the music itself and more about the impact of the lyrics, I just looked up the impact of words on your brain, and wow. So I found this article from Psych Central, Words Can Change Your Brain. And it's going over a new book by Andrew Newberg and Mark Robert Waldman, Words Can Literally Change Your Brain. And it goes over how they do that. So I'm going to read through this article with you, and then we're going to have a little bit of a discussion about our current state of music. According to Andrew Newberg and Mark Robert Waldman, words can literally change your brain. In their book, they write a single word has the power to influence the expression of genes that regulate physical and emotional stress. Positive words such as peace and love can alter the expression of genes, strengthening areas in your frontal lobe and promoting the brain's cognitive functioning. They propel the motivational centers of the brain into action and build resiliency. So words like peace and love actually alter the expression of your genes. They literally are changing you on a fundamental level. Conversely, hostile language can disrupt specific genes that play a key part in the production of neurochemicals that protect us from stress. Humans are hardwired to worry, part of our primal brains protecting us from threats of our survival, so our thoughts naturally go there first. However, a single negative word can increase the activity in our amygdala, which is where your fear sits in your brain. This releases dozens of stress-producing hormones and neurotransmitters, which in turn interrupts our brain's functioning. Angry words send alarm messages through the brain. They partially shut down the logic and reasoning centers located in the frontal lobes. Well, this applies to a lot more than music, right? We've heard a lot of hostile and threatening language. We've heard a lot of fear language in the past 2 years from a lot of people, and I wonder why. You know, it says a single negative word can increase the activity in our amygdala, which is the fear center of the brain. This releases dozens of stress-producing hormones and neurotransmitters, which in turn interrupts our brain's functioning. This is especially with regard to logic, reason, and language. Angry words send alarm messages through the brain. So literally using hostile language interrupts the logical processing of the other person's brain. So this goes way beyond music. Not only is your music literally altering your brain, But so is every single person you know, every single person you come in contact with. Every time you speak to your child, you're literally altering their gene expression. You can make them more resilient humans, or you can make them fearful. It's just insane that words impact you that much. They go on to say, by holding a positive and optimistic word in your mind, you stimulate frontal lobe activity. This area includes specific language centers that connect directly to the motor cortex responsible for moving you into action. And as our research has shown, the longer you concentrate on positive words, the more you begin to affect other areas of the brain. Functions in the parietal lobe start to change, which changes your perception of yourself and the people you interact with. A positive view of yourself will bias you towards seeing good in others, whereas a negative self-image will include you towards suspicion and doubt. Over time, the structure of your thalamus will also change in response to your conscious words, thoughts, and feelings. And we believe that the thalamic changes can affect the way you perceive reality. If positive words can do that for you, what do negative words do? They also alter the way you perceive reality. They also alter the way you view others. If you don't like yourself, you're more likely to dislike other people. So if you don't like anyone, you should really take a long, hard look in the mirror, because maybe it's you who you don't like. This is mind-blowing to me, and I hope it's as mind-blowing to y'all as it was to me when I found it. But and I'll link this article in the description so you can go back and read it. It is worth a read. But what it is saying is that positive words or negative words don't just affect your frontal lobe. They affect your parietal lobe. They affect your thalamus. They affect everything that controls stress and perception of reality in your life. So if you're listening to music with very, very negative lyrics, and you might think it doesn't affect me because I'm just listening to it for the beat, but it does. Yes, it does. The words affect you. The words in the music actually affect you. You guys know that song, that line from Tom's song where he says, if you eat McDonald's, you're gonna get fat, and if you listen to garbage, your head fills with trash. That is literally true. It's literally true. Holding a positive word in your mind can stimulate frontal lobe activity, which directly connect to the motor cortex responsible for moving you into action. So all you guys out there talking about black pill this and black pill this, you need to start talking about some white pills. This is including myself. I am including myself in this. Because positive words actually affect people. Talking about peace, talking about love, talking about resiliency and honor and courage, those words literally affect your biological gene expression. So you need to be much more careful about what you put into your brain, because it is altering the way your brain functions. It is altering the way you perceive reality. It is altering your perception of yourself. Music has power because what you put in your brain is very important. It literally alters the way your brain functions, the way you perceive reality. So be more careful, because your music that you listen to does absolutely 100% influence you. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, share, subscribe. Bye, guys.
All right, Joe Biden's dentures says new YouTube channel. Ashley's thoughts is worth a sub. There you go. Zane